Hey guys, Mark Nicol here, men's health and lifestyle coach, and today's topic is this. The reason you don't is because you think you should. Bit cryptic, right? We all have lists of stuff that we feel that we should be doing. Okay, so whether it's regarding your health, you feel like you should be eating differently to the way you do, you maybe should be exercising more often or in a different way. Whether it's at work, there's jobs that or tasks that you think you should do. Okay, we all have stuff that we think we should be doing. But what happened, or what the reason is typically that we think that we should do stuff, is it's born out of trying to fulfill what we perceive is the requirement of someone else. Okay, so feeling like you should do something is typically born out of either feeling guilty or a sense of shame. Okay, so for example, maybe it's your diet. Okay, maybe you think you should be eating differently. Okay, so you should be eating less of some things, more of another, or whatever else. And the reason you think you should be doing that is either, for example, because the government says so. Okay, so the NHS or the NICE guidelines to tell you that you should be eating X number of portions of fruit per day, so many vegetables, that you should be limiting the amount of, I don't know, red meat or fat or whatever else it might be. And you kind of compare what someone else says you should be doing with what you are doing, and you think, oops, okay, and you either feel guilty or ashamed because you're not doing what someone else says you should do. Or maybe it's your partner. Okay, so a big thing when I was working as a personal trainer is I used to work mostly with a lot of women, but every now and then their husbands would arrive and they would pitch up and they were unmotivated, low energy, really didn't want to be engaging with me and sort of the process. And that was largely because the reason they were there was because they felt they should be. Okay, their wife had basically nagged them into coming along to train and to do the stuff, and they were doing something that they thought they should. But here's the kicker: they weren't doing what they actually wanted. They weren't there because they wanted to do it. And so this is the thing: when you try and do something because you think you should, like I say, it's normally because you're trying to fulfill like an external kind of demand. Okay, you're doing it because someone else says it's a good idea, not because you think that it's a good idea. And so when it comes to actually achieving big change in your life, when it comes to actually fulfilling your goals and to doing things differently, the secret is not doing stuff that you think you should, but doing doing the things that you want. Okay, and how you identify or how you create the difference is by getting honest about what it is that you're trying to do and why you're trying to do it. So if you're trying to change your diet, there's no point trying to do it because you think you should. You need to be doing it because you want to. And in order to find the reasons to do it, you have to consider, well, okay, what would be the impact of improving my diet? So if I started to eat more fruit and vegetables, what would happen? How would my body feel? How would my body look? How would it change? Now, if my body changed in a particular way, so if I don't know, lost weight, or if I have more energy, if I was less tired, how might that affect my relationship with my wife or my kids? Well, if you were less tired and you had more energy, it'd probably improve, wouldn't it? Be good. How would improving your relationship with your wife and kids, how would that affect, I don't know, performance at work? You know, if you went into work feeling more secure and more comfortable and more happy in your home life, and you had more energy physically, how would that impact on your work? So if you can build up all of a great long list of like positive outcomes that result of a change in behaviour, chances are at some point you're going to create it to the point where you actually desire to make that change, where you're going to want to do stuff. Okay, so you're going to want to improve your diet or change your exercise habits or whatever else it might be, because you can see a reason that's great enough that inspires you to want to do it. Okay, and this is the difference between, it becomes like an intrinsic thing. Okay, so the desire to do it comes from inside of you rather than trying to fulfill something that's coming from the outside. Okay, so if there's something in your life, I wonder, is there something in your life where you keep battling away, where you keep starting something and then it stops and you have to start over again and you get frustrated and pissed off because you can never quite follow through? I wonder, is it because you think you should be doing it rather than because you want to be doing it? And there's no harm in actually answering and being honest about things and just saying, look, the reason I'm not doing this is I don't want to do it. Okay, if you don't want to improve your diet, fuck it, don't. Okay, that's your choice. It's your freedom to do that. If you don't want to change the way you exercise or to start exercising, fine, fuck it, don't. But you do have to consider, well, in the same way that there can be positive outcomes to changing things, there are likely to be, almost certainly, negative outcomes to not changing things. So if you decide that you don't want to change your diet, ask you the same question. What would be the impact on my body of not changing my diet? How will my energy levels be? How will I continue to look? How will I feel? What will be the impact of that on my relationship with my wife and my kids? What would be the impact of that on my work and my career and my general outlook on life? That way, again, by actually stopping and thinking about what might be the negative as well as what might be the positive, you'll often find yourself actually reaching a point where you kind of desire change, but you want to make things different. But you want to do it because it's for you and it's not for someone else. As always, we could rant about all this stuff for days, but I won't. So the simple thing, if you're struggling to change something, it's generally because you feel like you should, and if you feel like you should, it's different to feeling like you want to. Okay, so choose that. Ask yourself, what's the positive impact of doing something, and what's the negative of not doing it, and create that intrinsic, that self kind of inspiration and self-motivation. That's me signing off. Have an awesome day. And we'll look forward to speaking to you again soon. Take care.